Good morning, Roll Gang. It is time for the ultimate cannabis midweek mailbag on this episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. Got a little cotton in my mouth this morning, trying to cough it out. Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen. It is so good to see you for another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I am your host, Processor Sky, here to break down some mailbag questions. I was supposed to be here with the Queen of Cannabis, Tina Ullman, but, you know, we're all human and everybody has the opportunity to call off a little under the weather. Wishing the healthiest to the Queen, Tina Ullman. But this morning, I wanted to use this opportunity to answer all of the mainstream cannabis-related questions. What's your favorite strain? What's your favorite terpene, cannabinoid, and more on today's midweek mailbag episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. Shout out to everybody tuning in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You guys are all the shit. This is for you. Every weekday morning, going live, smoking up some herb, because after all, it is stoner law. We have awoke, blessed to spend another day. We have awoke, so now we have a smoke. I have the rest of this beautiful nug of gelato here this morning to smoke. And I'm going to roll it up here while giving a quick shout out to the sponsors of the show, because they make it happen for the Weekday Wake and Bake and help out the Roll Gangsters along the way. First and foremost, WWnB University, the first ever cannabis college and my proud alumnus. The 15-year anniversary just happened for this unbelievable school. And I can't even believe it. I was, 8 years old whenever the WWnB University school started teaching about the cannabis industry. And man, what an absolute growth heathen that has been since then. Use promo code ROLLINGSPOON, one word, to get 10% off your cannabis horticulture courses or your cannabis business, cannabis compliance courses over at WWnB University. One-of-a-kind college, the best connectivity in the industry and the best education in the industry. Head on over to WWnB, promo code ROLLINGSPOON to get you 10% off your cannabis industry education and claim your stake in this budding industry. And speaking of the Rolling Spoon for your 10% off cannabis education, not just good to educate you or help your education, helping me to roll a dime every single time. Major shout out Ranger One and the Reefer Rangers for this amazing, beautiful rolling spoon, this custom branded spoon for the Reefer Rangers up in Sacktown, California. Major shout out to the Rangers and the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool. So this morning is the midweek mailbag episode of the show, meaning we have a bunch of mailbag questions from Roll Gangsters normally. But actually, I collected some questions for Tina Ullman based on the upcoming election and the candidates that she selected for the Chamber of Cannabis to suggest for voting, candidates, if you will. And the Chamber of Cannabis is making hella moves, keeping the ball rolling in the industry. I will ask those questions to Tina Ullman on Monday morning after my tennis tournament and the day before the election. So make sure you tune in every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Normally just me, your host, Processor Sky, but I do have some really fucking legendary guests that come on the show from now and again. Tomorrow, I have an awesome brand new guest. I am so excited to have Dab Some Mo on the show. It's going to be the Dab Some Mo show. Absolutely ecstatic to have Dab Some Mo on the show tomorrow. But today is the day we answer the ultimate cannabis mailbag, including questions like, what are your favorite strain? Or why you smoke weed? So make sure, if you guys are tuning in live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, answer these questions in the comments section. Would absolutely love to hear what your opinions on these are. So the first question here on the Ultimate Cannabis Mailbag is my favorite strain. Well, Roll Gang, my company, my old company, before the Rolling Spoon, before Las Vegas, back when I was living in Sacramento, California, my company was called The Gas Station. We've got the gas. And the reason is because my favorite strain of all time is Super Sour Diesel. Super Sour Diesel, not just Sour D. I love the little hint of terpenoline. I love the added flavor of the Super Silver Haze cross with the Sour Diesel. But that genetic gas flavor of Sour Diesel comes through on Super Sour D, just stronger. So my favorite strain, Super Sour Diesel. Used to be available. The gas station fuel was my Super Sour Diesel that I used to sell at the gas station. My favorite strain ever. Next up, sativa or indica. You know? And honestly, I could give a single shit about sativa versus indica when I smoke. I think they are very similar. Different strokes for different folks, and it's a very opinionated subject, but THC is THC. That's just that. You know, it's going to affect you the same way. You're taking the same medicine. If you're consuming THC, you're consuming THC. Now, if you're consuming it via the application of a peppy, fruity, citrusy flavor along with your THC, it's going to tend to give you a little more boost in creativity, a little bit of a nudge towards the energetic direction. But if you're smoking a floral, woody, cushy strain, it's going to give you a little bit more of that relaxation. Imagine aromatherapy and the effects of aromatherapy. That is what you're getting whenever you're consuming the terpenes along with your THC, in my opinion. Some people are definitely more prone and in necessity medically for specific terpenes, but for me, the terpenes are for the entourage effect. The THC gets me where I'm going, and the terpenes are like the roadmap, creating a nice body for your smoke. So sativa, indica, they're based on the terpenes found in the smoke, but really, I actually find it's more apt to take nug structure into account. If you have a skinny, long nug, Christmas tree shaped, that's a sativa shaped nug. But if you're looking at a circular, berry shaped nug, that is an indica shaped nug. And honestly, cannabis is cannabis. Good cannabis is good cannabis. It affects me the same way, pretty much. No matter when I smoke it, how I smoke it, I just love good herb. Sativa, indica, hybrid, fuck it. Give me some good herb and I'll smoke it any time of day. I'll smoke a heavy indica in the morning, a heavy sativa right before bed, and it does me right, So really, I could give a fuck about sativa, indica. But that's just my hot take here on this midweek mailbag. The next question is, what is my favorite terpene? So being said that terpenes don't actually get you high or have like a big effect on whenever you're consuming cannabis, but it's still nice to have them around, and I still have a favorite flavor terpene that I like to taste when I smoke. So my favorite terpene is awesomine, and that's right, Roll Gang. I looked all these up, all the terpenes up, caryophyllene, limonene, all of these pronunciations. I'm trying to get them definitively right. I used Merriam-Webster to find the proper pronunciations of all of the terpenes. Osamine versus awesomine. So, awesomine because it's fucking awesome. It tastes like cream. Awesomine gives your smoke the most decadent, rich exhale. It tastes like cream, kind of a cooling, minty sensation. Truly an unbelievable terpene. Found dominantly in my favorite strain from my workplace, Medicine, Hawaiian butterscotch. Absolutely delicious. Super high in awesomine. Absolutely my favorite terpene by far. Followed by terpinolene, but it's really not even close. Next up, my favorite cannabinoid other than THC, because THC is basically everybody's favorite. Anyone that goes into the dispo is looking at the THC numbers, basically. But a magic cannabinoid is THC, but also CBG, CBD, CBN, all of the different types of cannabinoids to bind with your CB receptors in your body, your CB1s and CB2s. I absolutely love all of the cannabinoids. But my second favorite has got to be CBN, helping to keep your night's sleep complete. If you are the type of person that wakes up in the middle of the night and has to fall asleep, try some CBN. It is super effective at getting you to sleep and keeping you to sleep. Great edibles, great in some smoke. CBN is an all-around great cannabinoid. Not as psychotropic as THC is, but psychoactive for sure in helping you to relax and helping you to ease your mind. Next up, my favorite consumption method. Yo, if you want to guess, give a quick guess in the comments of the show. I'll bet you can guess my favorite consumption method. But before I do, shout out WWnB University, the first ever cannabis college, and the place to go to claim your stake in this budding industry. Go learn about cannabis horticulture, cannabis business. I mean, this is an amazing plant. Why wouldn't you want to claim your stake in this budding industry? Wow, this gelato is hitting hard this morning. Good Lord. I need it. If you're interested in learning why cannabis is so helpful up here and why it really helps clarify your brain and give you more grounded approaches on your decision making, WWnB University is the place to go to learn the science behind the plant. An absolute piece of magic for humankind is cannabis. So learning about cannabis at WWnB University, only natural. So also the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool, the name headline sponsor of every weekday wake and bake, helping me to roll a dime every time. Got perfect joints every day. They do go out a lot because I yap so much, and it's really resinous. So my favorite consumption method is a joint. I fucking love joints. You can taste the herbs so unbiased. You can really give it a proper, rip, the clean rip that this beautiful plant deserves. You get the whole taste. You know why, Roll Gang? You know why? Here's my cannabis multi-tool coming into use, my joint coaster mode. But check this out. Rolling papers are actually nothing. They're actually nothing. They burn into midair, There's no ashes here. I use these organic hemp zigzags on the show. I rotate them out, but I fucking love joints. They're nothing. It's a mirage. It's just the tiny little paper holding everything together. Great to roll, great to smoke. Gotta love a joint. The next question here on this ultimate cannabis edition of the midweek mailbag is, when did you start smoking? When did I start smoking? Well, my first time smoking was in Punta Cana, the Dominican Republic. I bought a pre-roll. I don't even know if it was a joint or a blunt, honestly. I was so young. It was Christmas time with my family. I was supposed to be watching my little sister, but I was hanging out with this girl, Kati, who struggled with the English speaking, didn't speak much English, but, we were both kind of interested in each other. We went for a walk on the beach, got down a little bit, and this dude on the beach was like, "Do you want some marijuana?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah." I want to impress this girl that I'm with. She's like nodding like, "Yeah, let's smoke." It was my first time smoking weed. And honestly, I don't even know how high I got. I don't remember it all too well, to be honest. Like, it is literally a crazy night. I probably got so stoned. My little sister was alone somewhere in this shout out Mandy, in this all-inclusive resort. She was like running around doing something. Good thing we had some good friends on the island while I was off smoking weed with Kati. And I showed up back and my parents were on a golf cart looking. It was like a whole fucking episode, Roll Gang. My first time smoking weed. And really, I loved it, I went back. I went back to the States, smoked in my hometown of Pennsylvania with my cousin Matt, who taught me how to roll, the absolute OG. But yeah, that's kind of when I started smoking, 15, 16 years old. Perfect timing, in my opinion. Perfect timing. It birthed a passion that I didn't know. And the last question here on this ultimate cannabis midweek mailbag is, why do you consume cannabis today? And this is a great question. If you're consuming this show after the fact, if you could drop your answer to this question in the comments, just so I can know that who is still tuned in, I would love to see who is actually watching this question, and, maybe not. If you don't want to answer the question, you don't have to, but I would really appreciate this. This question is the most important question. I'd love your answer in the comments section. Why do you consume cannabis today? It's kind of deep, it's kind of unknown. A lot of people who consume cannabis regularly have lost touch with the initial feeling. My answer is clarity and touch. Sensation, Cannabis grounds me to my creator. Do I know my creator? No. Do I know cannabis's creator? No. Probably the same thing, though. Probably the same person, place, or thing. Whatever our creator is, This is a beautiful plant that gives us access to this connection. This primal connection to ourselves, to our nature, even to others. And the magic just feels high. Doesn't get you high like meth, doesn't get you high like coke, gets you more lifted, connected, elevated. So absolutely loved answering these midweek mailbag ultimate cannabis questions on this midweek mailbag episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake from Las Vegas, Nevada. Little windy. The weather is changing outside, and I'm not going to be smoking outside much more, Roll Gang. You can catch me in the casinos. You can catch me at the Spoon House. Hit me up. Let's sesh. It's sesh season, Roll Gang. We got to stay inside and just smoke the herb. It's good times. But anyways, tomorrow, the episode with Dab Samo, and then Fuck Yeah Friday will be in Surprise, Arizona for part 2 of the National Championships, Mixed Doubles Edition. I'm going to be playing some doubles with my feminine partners, I'm kind of feminine myself, I'm very in touch with my feminine side. I love the philosophy of care and making sure that I am dressed nice and well-groomed normally. Good Lord. But, yeah, I am so excited to connect with my feminine side on the tennis court. In mixed doubles, I have to do my manly part and take my fat portion of the court. I'm selfish on the court, Roll Gang. But you're only as good as your weakest link. And I will hold up my duty as the weakest link as my partner whips me into shape this upcoming weekend at the National Championships for Mixed Doubles Tennis in Surprise, Arizona. Tomorrow, though, got a renowned, famous Las Vegas cannabis influencer, Dab Some Mo, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited to wake and bake and chop it up with brand new friend, Chamber of Cannabis member. We're going to chop it up about the Chamber and about being a cannabis influencer, being a stoner. Maybe I'll throw her some of these ultimate cannabis mailbag questions tomorrow morning. You'll have to tune in 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, every weekday morning. Appreciate you guys. Roll Gang. I might have said 8 a.m. I got to watch in the show. 9 a.m., noon Eastern, every weekday morning. Still getting good at it. Crazy changes all the time. Love you so much, Roll Gang, and that will stay the same forever. Mwah!